So can you repeat the question?
Where does money currently come from?
Money. Thin green pieces of paper, small coins, and numbers that show up in our bank accounts, all of which completely control our lives and the decisions that we make. It even causes people to do things that they have never imagined they would do, but we can never seem to have enough of it. But where does money come from? To answer this question, I thought I would start by asking a few of my peers to see if they could point me in the right direction.
Where does money currently come from? I would think it would be the printing press, because when I think money, I think like paper money.
Like physical money.
Yeah, coins and paper and whatever money is actually made of.
Right.
But I
really
guess
it's almost like a liquid asset situation. Like It's not physical. It's
most of what I spend is on a card or from my phone. Like it doesn't actually physically exist.
Right. And I feel like it exists in bonds, like in the Fed and
I feel like
ethereal
money is in a cloud
like
somewhere
a concept,
and just trickles down. I have absolutely no idea how it
Well, if it could trickle down.
That's the government's job. I don't get it.
Yep.
It comes from the Federal Reserve through computer operations.
And is it based on anything of tangible significance?
Nope. They got rid of the gold standard, I would say, in the 40s. Takes away the double coincidence of wants. So if I want to buy a hamburger from you, I don't have to have, and you need a broom, I don't have to have a broom to get the hamburger. I can give you the equivalent of a broom.
But who accepts that instead of something of value, like gold?
But it would usually be backed up by gold. That's what I would say the problem is now, is it's not backed by anything.
Right, but my point is who, I guess that makes more sense because the question is, I've asked this before, who was someone's all right, take this paper, trust us on it, it's worth as much as this piece of gold.
Well, you used to be able to literally bring your money to the mint and get gold for it.
Yeah, but then they got
rid of that.
Too many people.
Well, that wasn't too helpful. So I went to the place that handles my own personal money to ask them. But the manager wouldn't allow me to film inside the bank. However, he did tell me in a brief answer that their money came from the Federal Reserve. But they wouldn't let me in that building either, so I went to the next best thing. I went to the US Mint, where I was fortunate enough to ask Mark where he thought money came from.
The paper currency comes from Washington, D.C. and Fort Worth, Texas. It's called the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. So they do all the paper money. Coinage is done by the United States Mint, and they do all the coins. The circulating coinage all comes from Philadelphia and Denver. And then we have facilities at San Francisco, West Point, and then those are the four, and then Fort Knox is a holding facility. But paper money comes from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, DC and Fort Worth, Texas. US Mint does coinage, Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and West Point. So that's where money comes from.
Thanks to Mark, we were able to get a detailed explanation of where physical money comes from. But I still wanted to know where money came from beyond just its physical appearance. So I went to DC to talk to a professional in the financial services field, Tom Carpenter.
Where does money come from? It's a hard question. We're clearly not in the days anymore where paper money or metal money is directly related to the amount of gold that we have somewhere in the country. It's much more complicated than it used to be. It's still tied to gold reserves, but reserves is really the place where money is created and through the federal banking system, or the Fed. Largely the way it happens now is that the Fed either eases or tightens monetary policy, usually by raising or lowering interest rates, and then that essentially creates money in private banks that then they can lend out. So money creation in a way is a little scary in that there's not some very clear paper trail or gold trail that you can say, okay, there's this amount of money in the country, or there's this amount of money at my bank that I can go see. Let's take mortgage loan for insurance for comparison's sake. So the old model used to be a savings and loan model would be that I came to the bank with my money, I deposited in my account, you, the bank, then used it to give to somebody else to buy a house. And then the bank made money on that interest, and my money, if I wanted it, was somewhere. It was loaned out to other people for personal and mortgage loans. But nowadays, a bank makes money, a private bank essentially creates money. If they give me a loan, they create that money. They put a new number in my account. That then becomes a liability for the bank, whereas my house or my mortgage becomes their asset. So it's kind of hard to explain and a little scary as I go into it because it seems like a system that could crumble at any moment. But it's really digital and it's based on assets and liabilities and it's very heavily vested in the banking system.
You want to keep talking about it? Are you done?
I think that's enough anti-Semitic
That's
remarks
good.
for the video.
DCO Nation!